Fortunately, did die at the age of 8, and so that was very traumatic for us. But the 3 girls we raised, and they're all married and gone away. And I have grandchildren.
All right, tell me about them.
Well, I have 2 in Tennessee, 1 in Carlisle, and 4 of them in Millstadt. So, and most of them are pretty grown now, except I have a couple of little ones left. So, but they're all good kids. Grandma dancing.
Tell me about it.
I always dance with the kids. And in the car, when I would take them places, we'd sing. And of course, I like the oldies. So there was one oldie song they loved, because we'd all sing it together, was Sherry. You know, Sherry Baby, yeah, that one. We would sing that together, and they just loved it.
You want to sing it?
No. I don't want to sing the song now. Well, I was an information operator at Southwestern Bell.
Oh.
And after that, I was a switchboard operator at Reinhold & Gardner, a stockbroker firm in St. Louis, before I was married. And when I married, I wanted just to, take care of kids. And so I didn't. And later on, I worked. I went back to school. I went to SLU. Well, first I went to BAC, graduated from there in horticulture. And that didn't, I did good with gardening, but I didn't do a future with it. And but then I had helped out at the church, and then I decided I'd go back to school in the pastoral program they had there, and I became a hospital chaplain. And I was a hospital chaplain I worked at Lutheran Medical Center, and then I went to St. John's Mercy and worked there 14 years and retired in 2005. So, and I worked an evening shift, so I worked all the traumas and all the happenings in the hospital. So that was my life.
That is amazing.
Well, when I was a little kid, and it was time for my birthday, and my mom and dad, they bought me underwear, and I didn't like that. I wanted something else, so my mom said, well, here's a book. It was A Popcorn Party, was the name of the book. And I loved that. I kept that till my kids were around, and I read it to them. But that was my favorite book, I'd have to say. I mean, growing up, there was a lot of favorite books that I read, adult books, but that was my favorite book. That I just loved it because it was like a treasure. I got that for my birthday. So that was my favorite book. There's plenty of those. Plenty of favorite songs that I enjoy. Neil Diamond, I got to see him 3 times in a concert, and I loved all his songs. And then I can't think of any other songs that stand out. Lover's Concerto was one that I enjoyed very much. Oh, I loved them all. I really did. And all the songs. And then I have a favorite movie, although there's ones that are good and I love them, but this one stands out because I was in high school and I got to see the movie Where the Boys Are. Well, I just fell in love with Paula Prentice. She was tall and I wanted to be tall, but that didn't happen. And so there was a scene where she was blowing her nose, and it was cold, snowy, and they were making their plans to go to Florida. Well, I would carry a box of Kleenex like she did and blow my nose, and just because I loved her. But that wasn't that great of a movie, but I still loved her, yeah. Well, I love them all. And so when I'm in one, I love for the next one to come. So I can't say I have a favorite, but I love fall a lot. It's so nice and crisp, and the leaves are so colorful. And I probably is my favorite is fall, but I love snow, but I don't like to drive in it, but I love looking at it, and it just is a good feeling. I don't know if I really have a favorite holiday. I think as a kid we we loved every one of them. I mean, I just really don't have a favorite holiday. And Halloween was fun, and trick-or-treating. And I remember when I was older and we lived out in the West End, there wasn't that many trees in the subdivision, so there would be a big moon, and I just, loved that when it was Halloween and we went out trick-or-treating. So, and we just made up our costumes. We didn't buy anything. Usually we were hobos or bums, We didn't have costumes like they have today, So, well, when I was in high school, I loved going to the Dutch Girl after school. And the radio station was right behind it. And that was one of the best places, I think. Yeah, and now it's Fisher's, and my husband and I went to Fisher's a lot. Yeah.
What about your favorite color?
Red. I was thinking about the best day of my life, and there's so many of them. I can't choose one. See, I'm so general. There's just so many things I enjoyed. And the best day, well, having the kids was good, getting married was good. Those were all best days. And my childhood years were the best, as far as all the friends. I enjoyed the friends so much. Well, I do want to say more about Belleville, because we spent a lot of time, we take the bus and go downtown. We go to the matinees, and they were cheap. They were, 10 cents, and then they went up in price. But, and then the 5 and dime. And I'll never forget those wood floors and then those bins that they had in the store where they had all their products, and then the fans that kept us cool. And you can't beat that today, those old time stores. And
do you remember all the businesses downtown, or some of
well,
them?
Lerner's, Fellner's was our favorite. We always went to Fellner's. And Lerner's, I don't know when Lerner's came, but I shopped there a lot as a teenager. Yeah. So, and Dolly's Hat Shop. There was Walcole's drugstore, because when we'd go to my grandmother's nursing home after school, because we spent a lot of time there. And so we'd take the bus and go to Walcole's and have soda. And and Sears and Penny's, all those stores were there. And the Ritz Theater. I think we went to a lot of matinees at Ritz, yeah. So, but there was so many good stores. You could really just shop downtown.
What grocery store did you go to?
A&P. That was on South Illinois. And that's where my oldest sister met her husband. So, and she was 6 years older than me, and so I was always peeping around the corners in the house when they were together and catch them kissing, But they were, that was the store we went to. Respect. It would be respect one another, respect life. That's the thing that's missing today.